snorkel and scuba dive and get these. This is a, I'm going to show you these, but they're two-pronged, so they look like little antlers. They're really spiked, and they're either in tan or they're whites. That's usually the colors. I took both of them. This is a 70 millimeter one. This is probably close to the biggest there is. That's almost a world record size, this one. They're fragile, but they're pretty tough little shells. Certainly the spines is what you want to keep, but there's just two examples of it. Really, they're lovely, and I just, I think they're cool looking, if you don't roll them, but if you wanted to show people that, if you would like to look at them. Thank you. Okay, and while she's doing this, I'm going to move into the other spines. All right, let's talk about shells now. All Myricks are beautiful, but here we go. And these are the spiny Myricks. This is called the Myricks pecten. The Venus cone Myricks. A lot of people have these. Look at this shell. The spines, they're known for their spines.
You're gonna be one of these back. It's so dark. Spectacular.
And these are Philippine shells usually, and well, how would you like that? Oh, in my hand, you mean, like that? I don't know what that means, Lisa. Don't take me, take the shell.
Such lovely.
I am, yes it is, thank you. This, and I don't know if I'm going to pass it, but you can come up and look at it. How this shell, usually in the sand flats, they're really deep. This is why they're hard, that's why they're also special. But it protects it though, They usually, their heads are down in the sand and their tails are up in the air. What they also do, which is really cool, there's a really good picture of what they do in this book. They lay on the flat on the bottoms like this, and they resemble, if you can see this, a dead fish skeleton. And what that is, they use it to draw in their prey, because the prey's thinking, oh, I can come and get something on this fish, and then they get it. And so the other thing these spines are used for, and this is why I think, Dr. Liao talked about it on our talk on the Englewood talk, that the evolution, they've created this as a protection device too. So, no fish is going to want to bite that. And so they're magnificent shells. They're usually cream, like this is a creamy brown, or white. And so, again, it's just one of the, one of my favorite shells. I'm not sure. Yeah, they'll let people take it, but if they want to see it. And you can come up here and look at all of them. It's just I don't want to break them. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to talk about one of my, that's the Venus cone. Here's the other spiny Myricks. It's the Eurex Trochelli. And it's in the same family, but these are the spine. These are the spine Myrixes. And this one, I just adore this shell. Big aperture, big siphonal canal. I know it's every shell I adore. I mean, it's, if I say an olive, I adore it too, so you just have to bear with me. It's fabulous. Well, I'm not lying though, am I? But, and I still get excited about them. This is my own collection. I'm excited about looking at it. But and that they don't have as many. If you look at the Venus, look at all the number of spines they have. This one doesn't have as many, but they've got these really elegant spines. And they're banded. They've got these really beautiful red brownish bands too. So again, they're like this. They're really down deep. Again, into Pacific. Down deep, they have to trawl to get these, but they lay on the bottoms like that too. Again, it's Trochel's Myricks. It's this is rare, okay? This is a rare shell. Trochelli is what I call it. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Okay, and then I'm going to move into, and we're getting down to the end, guys, and then we can, if you got anything, questions or share it, but, okay. This, how many people have seen this show? This is Serratus Alabaster and the Alabaster Myricks. Anybody? Well, you need to get one. It's another Japan, Philippine shell. They're an Alabaster Myricks. They're white. Sometimes they're creamies, a little bit creamy yellow. But again, a big aperture, smaller siphonal count, and these are lovely wings. These shells used to be really rare. I remember back in like the late 70s, 80s, you had to pay a fortune to get these. They're a lot cheaper. They're not cheap, but they're a lot cheaper now, and you can get a nice shell. But because they figured out a way to get them. How long they're going to be around, I don't know. This is what I wanted to say about this one, and I've got a big white shelf in my house, and I've got a beautiful piece of coral, and I've got alabasters all over it. And it's just that they're gorgeous. I have an alabaster that's 7 or 8 inches, so they can be very small, but they can be up to about 8 inches, The other thing's interesting about this is, Linda, this is Powers, Peter Dance. She knows, and everybody knows, Peter was, with Tupper Abbott, the fathers of conchology. But Peter Dance said this was on his 50, most coveted shells, that book that he wrote. This is the one that he said was one that you wanted to collect. So it goes back to that time. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to move that around, but if you want to come up and look at it, you're more than welcome. Here's another one that's Sri Lanka, and this is the Pomerosa, this Chicorius Pomerosa. Wait till the end, Marty, then we'll do it, okay? But this is the Pomerosa, and it's the rose branch Myricks. You can look at this one, but again, and they can get up. I've got some up in my collection of 5, and they can be really deep red. But again, it's the frills, very typical. You can see why I've always liked lace Myricks, is it's always got the wings and things like that. That one you can take around.
Where's that one from?
That's in the Pacific, but also Sri Lanka. Yeah, or if you want to put in the box, that little. All right. I mean, it's a tough little shell. It's gonna break. Stop it. Okay. That I know I've said these are my favorites, and I love these, and we're getting on the ones I really love now.
Her favorites.
I reserved these for the end. Yeah, and there's quite a few of them, so I'll try to go faster than I am, but I'm not going to. This, and you can come up and look at these. Again, I didn't bring my fancy labels just because I didn't want to, but this is such an interesting shell, and Cindy's actually got a Holocanthus, which is, I was going to bring, but you ought to look at that too. This is what is this? A Lagonus? Yeah. Sorry, I've forgotten. This is right on my mind now. Yeah. This is the Petronadus and elegantus, and it's the elongated Myricks, okay? I promise I'm not sick. I'm just, it's allergies, I'm talking too much. Yeah. But you can see these are rare. They really are pulled, you can see how they're pulled out. This is a pretty big one. It's white. They're Indo-Pacific, really down deep, Philippines. But they also come in pink that are incredible colors too. So come up and look at that because this is a rare shell, but it's just a weird looking thing. Another one I brought, another genre we could talk, the Latiaxis I said earlier, I don't think you probably don't. They've moved the Latiaxis into the Myricks, and they're incredible. That's something, I got a lot into this. Glenn Duffy used to collect them in tangle nets. That's the other thing I said. All these shells are collected by tangle nets. They drop these tangle nets down and bait and hope that they get them. That's how they get them, really deep water shells. This is Latiaxis. This is a weird one. It's out of Australia.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. It's but it's got these really spiny whorls all around it, and it's the Maui Latiaxis too. And that you know, you can look at this one. This one's it's that one's okay. But and like I said, most of them are really frilly and they're really pretty. I'm going to show you something now.
Karen, I have a question.
Yeah.
Some of these shells, did you buy them or?
Oh yeah, these. Well, most of this is self-collected. From here, these are specimen shells. They're so down deep. You have to be tangle nets. Like I said, you have to be. You know, if you're going to go 100 feet down, I'm not doing that. So, but no, these are specimen shells. I'm showing you now. Again, this is what I collect. Here's one. I know there's my line again, but here is one of my favorites. But and this is the Petronadus Orchid Florist. And what do you think that means in English? It just means orchid. It's a Myricks, but it's the flowered orchid is what it is. Beautiful little shell. Doesn't get much more than this size. It's really, you know, these are called the flares, the wings, and they really thought that they looked Indo-Pacific again, very deep, Philippines, Balut Island, you know, but the frills on there, they're just incredible. And it's a work of art. I mean, this is God's finest collection, I think, you know, myself.
Are any of those shells ones that you found when you went to Fiji?
They're Fijians. Well, no, these are mainly Philippine shells, not these.
None that you found in
Not
Fiji
these,
are-
because I had some. I was going to bring them, but I
Okay,
didn't.
just curious.
Yeah, no, these are going to
So
Philippines.
exotic.
But these are really down deep.
So you buy those?
I'm going to let you come up and look at that one, but you should come and look at this.
Yeah, and then from the COA you buy them, or you buy them from auction?
These are, okay. I'm sorry, Nancy. What?
I'm just curious, do you buy them when you go at the COA?
No, I bought them all over the world. I mean, I bought them at COA, I bought them through, no, to be honest, most of them are the dealers. I deal with, you know, Larry Strange and everybody knows him, and I deal with the Denzers and just different dealers. Or you can buy them online now too, you know, but I know those dealers. I've had these for a long time. I know everybody's looking at stuff, but just give me a couple more minutes and then we can focus on something else. But I brought this because I wanted to share this with you. This is a Natica, and it's a Barclays Mirror. So I'm just going to give you the common name. The most incredibly beautiful operculum you'll ever see. It's a rose. You can see the shell is so gorgeous. Again, the flares. This is a very rare, this is probably one of the rare shells I have in my entire collection. And I wanted to bring it to you just to show it to you. I actually bought this from Glenn, and it's just, I'm going to put my mask on and walk around and show it to you. I just can't stand it. That's special, Karen. I'm putting it over my glasses even. Bear with me 2 seconds, because I want to show it to you.
You said that's your favorite?
No.
The rarest.
I'm coming there. You can come up and look at this one.
Were you there? Have you been there?
I'm probably taking way too long. Is that a beautiful little perk? Well, look at the shell, the kinks on that.
It's like when you get the willies in your hair.
Yeah. Isn't that lovely? I'll just do it real quick and then. How is nature make such a beautiful It's the ruffle, absolutely, Judy. Here, my friend. It's the Barclays
You know, if you saw this thing there on the beach,
You wouldn't know.
and you would think it was just a fragment of some type of a shell, wouldn't you?
Okay, turn it over for us.
Again, incredibly rare. Okay, and bear with me a few more minutes and then we'll be finished. Okay, where am I now? Okay, so now, you know, I said these were all these over here are mainly Indo-Pacific. There's one exception, and this is one that I have a weakness for, and I collect. These are the Timbeluses, and I've got about, I don't know, 12 or 15 in my collection. So I always believe in quality and quantity. But these are the Phyllopateris, is the Timbellus Phyllopateris, and they're the leafy wings, Myricks. And I think when I show it to you, I brought a couple of them from my collection, rare shells. I was talking to our friend Scott, and he's going to go down to the Guadalupe Islands where he found them in the Caribbean in St. Vincent. He's actually going to go down and dive for these. These are about 80 feet down in the water. And that's why they're rare, is because you can't get to them. But he's actually going to go try and pick some up, hopefully for me. But and I'll show you these. And you know, remember I told you how much I love lace Myrixes. They look like the fancy sister of a lace Myrix to me. And you can see, you know, small aperture, gorgeous frilly. They call them the leafy wing for a reason. And this color here is a red, a very unusual color. I kind of got a reverence in my voice. You can hear it now because I'm like, oh. But it's and they're browns. You can even get some. I have some that are whites, very beautiful whites, and this is big. I've got one that's about this, but that's about as big as the shell gets. Again, deep water shells, and just I think when they name this shell, sometimes they name shells and you're like, why do they name it that? They named it the leafy Myricks for a reason, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. These can ride, you know. I'll let you take one of them and look at it. You can bring it. You can look at the. Just don't let it out. There it is. Okay. The other one you can come up and look at, but pardon. Okay, and now we're getting down. Again, that's that one. I put it in there because they're all kind of leafy wings. These are all where I'm not the leaf. These are the wing shells. And so now I'm down to my last two. How about that? And it's called the Timbellus, or you can call it the leafy wing Myricks. Okay, these are rare, and I hate to say the last was my favorite, but this was my second favorite. And these are the Petronaduses, which is that genre. And they're the Lobeckies. And the Lobeckie, and the first one's another subspecies of the Lobeckie. The Lobeckie is probably the most valuable Myricks there is. Just because it's so hard to get, and the colors.
They're deep water or something?
Incredibly deep water. And you have to do it by tangle nets. And the other subspecies is the Miyoko. And the Miyoko Lobeckie is actually pretty, you can actually buy these. These used to be incredibly expensive, but they're not so bad anymore. But they're deep water shells. It's hard for you guys to see them, but these are brown and whites. This is the color. And the leaf and the frills on these, it's just, it takes my breath away to look at these. And they've actually, how these came down, I mean, these used to be $1,000 shells. They really come down, and you can get them round now. You can't get ones that are this big. This is an old collection I have here. But
From Japan?
No, Philippines again.
By the name?
Some of the South, yeah. South Japan, they used to be there too, but that's the offer that did it. They named it.
Oh, okay.
This is interesting with the Miyokos. They figured out a way to do this. I don't think it's fair to the shell, but they take a log and they bore holes, and they put it on a net, a tangle net, and they drop it all these meters down, hundreds of meters down. And these Myricks like to bury in holes. I love them. The Timbeluses that I'm just showing you, and they do this. They bury in the sand in holes, and you can find them when you go down and dive for them. That's where you find them. But these things, they'll get they never could find very many with tangle nets, but they'll get into this log. Their whole family will get in there, in the different holes, and then they bring it up, and then they can get the shell, and that's how it's brought the market down. I don't know how long that's going to last, so I'd get them while you can if I was going to do that.
What's like the starting price of something like that?
For not that one, like I said, it's got more frill. Right now, Linda, if you want to go like to Seal Air, you want to go to our, if we ever have this Sarasota Shell Club, you can get them not pristine, but maybe $60, which I think if 1,000 could get $60 is amazing. And then I wanted to bring you this and show you too. So that's the brown and whites, which are the normal. This is one of the rare shells I have in my collection. It's a Miyoko, but it's an albino. And and albinos we have around here, but you don't find them very. You try to collect them. That is the wings, and it's absolutely gorgeous. My opinion. But if you ever want this, I've hardly ever seen anybody has one. I think I've got one of the few that are in collections. So if you want to come look at,
To Mayoko.
Just leave them there.
I mean, you can show them, but
Why don't you just leave
all right. Well, you guys can come up if you want to look at it.
They're gonna look at all
All right, and then I've got two more, and then I'm going to quit. And they're the same species, but this is my favorite. So, and I wanted to do something, okay? Yeah, I can. I'm going to do that too. These are I said those were Lobeckies, and the subspecies, the Miyokos, are the Lobeckies. Petronadus lobecki is the scientific name, but these are the Lobex Murixes. And this is the one that I had Meredith photograph. And these are the ones I collect too. Again, very deep water shells. They do not, they can't get them to get into a log, so they can't get these. So very difficult to get. The Philippines again. What's unique about them, I want to read this and I'm going to show it to you. Again, I'm going to go back to Peter Dance, who was quite the shell collector. But this is, and I wrote it down because I wanted to get it right. This is what he said about the Lobeckies. He said, the Lobecki is the loveliest, most exquisite natural object he has ever seen that ever existed. And he's pretty, Linda told me he's pretty flowery in his language, but I thought, what a statement for a man to say something like that. Again, it's got the body whorls, but it's the colors. They're uniform in color, very small operculum, beautiful operculums. The wings, and every varice has the wings built on it. And even on the tails, they have wings. So this is what makes it unique. This is one of my best I ever had. You can see the color. You can get them whites, you can get them yellows, and I like the oranges. Those are the ones I. Pardon?
The common name of that?
Lobex Murixes, or Lobecki Murixes. Again, just a name, amazing work of art. That's my favorite show. But this is in my collection. I've got a couple of these, but anytime you can get really little babies, and like a Junonia baby is worth a lot more than a big Junonia, even though you wouldn't think that. But it's a baby Lobecki. and it's got the wings already developed. And again, well, these I'm going to show you too. I'm going to make you look at them. But they're absolutely amazing. I'm just going to take these real quick, and you guys see them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show them, okay? And I'm going to go, and these are my last, and then I want to do a couple of things. And the other thing I wanted to show, and Meredith took these are the shells I had, and if you get a chance to look at them, what she did with it. I mean, the shell is gorgeous, but these are incredible. And I just thank you for that, and just how, incredibly nice that was and kind, and I just really appreciate it. Look at the colors of those things, see the baby? And see how the frills are? I just want to, and see it? And those are babies. They're all developed that early. Philippines again. See, that's the baby. You see the frills already developed. I mean, they're and I'll get there. I know I've gone way too long. But you notice it's pretty sturdy little shell.
Yeah, in order to make it clear.
No, they don't.
So they don't.
Meredith, you see the baby? You want me to take it out? I don't do this for anybody, you know that.
Yeah, I know.
You can't touch that. Take it by its head. Look at that. Just something that small can be that developed,
I know it.
You got it?
I got it. Oh, thank you.
I just wondered if you could just take a shot of this. I don't know if we should do it in the sun or.
Yeah. Step out.
Oh yeah.
One last thing I want to do, just thank you guys for having the patience to go through this with me. And, I wanted to share with, this is like I don't even think it was percent of my collection, and it's certainly about a tenth of it, 0.1 of what they're out there. But if you like Myricks, there's a lot that we can find here in Florida. How many different species do you have? Yeah, I think I got 15. 15? No, I'm serious. You have 15? Yeah, and then the problem with mine, I'll buy it and I'll get anything. But if I like something, I'll buy it over and over again. So, I still like laces. I love them. We can find them here. Perfect specimen. So you said there were 19. That one you don't let anybody pick up. That one's about 15, maybe 14.
So your 400's yours?
Oh, there you go. They're mine? Yeah.
Yeah. There's 19